A year has recently passed since an unexpected announcement changed the course of the Danish monarchy. Contrary to all forecasts, Queen Margrethe, whose reign had lasted over half a century without any signs of intending to abdicate, announced her decision to relinquish the throne during her traditional New Year's address. This message, typically filled with reflections and well-wishes, became a historic turning point. Within just 2 weeks, Denmark witnessed the charismatic Margrethe II concluding her reign and paving the way for the proclamation of her son, Frederick. On that January 14th, during the Council of State, the former sovereign signed the abdication and bid farewell to the duties inherent to the head of state, with a solemn God Save the King. However, far from disappearing from the public scene, Queen Margrethe's retirement was anything but inactive. Danish society, which fully supported the transition to the throne, continues to view her as an important pillar for the continuation of the monarchical institution. Although she now lives away from daily ceremonial duties, she has not completely stepped back from public activities and continues to engage in several projects that have become her personal legacy over time. During the first year after relinquishing power, Margrethe managed to combine the more peaceful life she so desired with a schedule that supports her passion for culture, art, and history. Maintaining 20 of the more than 80 patronages she held before handing over the crown allowed her to attend cultural events, sporting competitions, award ceremonies, and other gatherings, where she participates without the pressures of being the head of state. For her, abdication was not an end, but an opportunity to change her life's rhythm. She can now, for example, dedicate more time to pursuits that interest her, such as archaeology and visual arts, 2 fields she has always been deeply passionate about. One of the most notable public appearances of the former sovereign during this first year after abdication was the anniversary celebration of the Danish Constitution last July, attended alongside her sister Benedikte. Additionally, various ceremonies awarding academic and artistic prizes, still bearing the name of Margrethe II herself, have taken place. One of the most remarkable is the Margrethe II Science Award, which annually funds the work of a scientist under the age of 50 and was her idea during her long reign. This commitment to supporting young talent remains intact, and although her son, King Frederick, now heads the most institutional events, she appears as an honorary guest, receiving warm applause from Danes who honor her for her extensive legacy. Despite no longer being the monarch, Queen Margrethe has not lost her role as a moral guide and symbol of unity. Indeed, Frederick immediately assumed the throne's responsibilities, and his heir, Christian, took her place in the Council of State, performing regent functions in his father's absence. The young prince, in turn, continued the plans established before his grandmother's abdication, including a study leave in Africa to participate in social projects. The transition was, in a sense, planned in advance, and Margrethe II stepped back in a timely manner to avoid interference while always being available to provide support when needed. The former sovereign queen could also be seen enjoying her regular vacations, combining cultural excursions with visits to relatives and friends. She was invited to a skiing festival in Oslo, one of Northern Europe's sporting events that she enjoys so much, and decided to spend part of the summer in Sweden and France. Specifically at Koch Castle, which has belonged to the Danish royal family for many years. There, in a peaceful setting surrounded by vineyards, she was seen participating in agricultural work, visiting the local market, and reminiscing about Prince Henrik, her late husband, whose legacy remains strongly present in this French residence, acquired on his initiative. This return to a more tranquil routine also became a respite for the Queen's family. The 3 daughters of the late King Frederick IX and Queen Ingrid have always stayed together. Now, sharing the same life phase, all have been widows for 5 years. They enjoy the time spent together, which was previously rare, especially for Margrethe, whose royal duties occupied most of her days. The closeness among the sisters has become one of the most touching images of this regency retirement. Although the specific reasons for the abdication were never clarified, Queen Margrethe, who will turn 85 in the spring of 2025, made it clear that she has found the balance she sought. She continues to be a guiding figure for Denmark, but now has the freedom to devote more time to her hobbies, friendships, and, of course, family. Nevertheless, the first year away from the throne was not entirely without challenges. Last September, a minor incident at Frederiksborg Palace led to the Queen's hospitalization after a fall, reminding everyone of the vulnerability that is sometimes forgotten in those who have long held power.
And
in a country where the monarchy enjoys significant popularity, Queen Margrethe II remains unanimously respected. Her ability to adapt after more than 50 years of reign and the ease with which she supported the consolidation of her son as the new sovereign reinforce her image as a leader with foresight. Many Danes still see her as an example of perseverance and modernity, a queen whose crown was more than a symbolic adornment. It was a symbol of unity, stability, and dedication to the welfare of her people.